Alright folks, so today for the eDay we're going to be doing vocab unit number 12 in your matrix. As usual, you guys are responsible for writing down a definition in your own words, circling the part of speech, writing a sentence, drawing a picture. Same thing we've been doing for the last 12 units. So let's get started. First vocab word is appreciable. Appreciable means big enough or significant enough to be noticed or measured in any way. So it can be an amount of weight or an amount of something, an appreciable difference between the size of the plant in May and the size of the plant in June. Or it can be just a big difference in terms of, for example, what the Big Mac commercial says the Big Mac looks like and the slimy, greasy thing that we get in the actual McDonald's when we go to the drive-thru. If it helps you, you can think of appreciable in the same way you would think about appreciate, right? It's a difference you can appreciate, big enough to be noticed. Autocratic is like dictatorial. Somebody who has total and complete power is autocratic. It's an adjective. Usually it's a negative adjective describing people like Hitler or Saddam Hussein or Joseph Stalin, dictators who have held full control over their country and not in a positive way. Blanch is a vocab word that is a verb. It means to take all of the color out of something. So to turn, usually it's a cooking term. You take something and you boil it or you cook it to the point where it's lost all of its color. So we see the almonds here have been blanched and now they are white. But blanch can also describe you as a person. If somebody says something super, super shocking to you, you might blanch, meaning you get very, very pale and lose all your color. Blasphemy is a noun, and it is something that is sacrilegious, okay? Something that violates something very, very sacred. A lot of times this is a religious word in terms of doing something really horrible in a church or saying something that violates someone's religion, but people like to say that burning the American flag is blasphemy because the flag is sacred to America. So even though it's not religious, it's still sort of violating something very, very sacred to our country. Brawny means big and strong, okay? We have Popeye here with his spinach, very, very strong. But maybe you buy brawny paper towels. Brawny paper towels are supposed to be strong. You're not supposed to have to use very many of them in order to clean your spills up or whatever. So a strong, powerful paper towel is what they're trying to advertise with that name. Concerted is an adjective, and it describes a sort of joint effort. Almost always we're going to see concerted this way as a concerted effort, meaning lots of people are working together to achieve something. So in the image you see so these people who are supposed to symbolize the average American citizen working together with the government in order to improve the economy. And that's sort of course, what we hope that the American citizens make a concerted effort with the government in order to work together to improve the economy so everybody's in better shape. Contend is a verb. It means to sort of fight or to battle for something. You might contend for MVP of a game. You might contend for president of the student council. You might contend for the opportunity to represent a sports team in college or for a scholarship or whatever. I put a picture here of the Patriots and the Seahawks who are contending for the title of Super Bowl champion this past Super Bowl. Humane means kind or gentle or merciful or good treatment, usually of something that is less powerful than you are, like animals or children. People have heard of probably the Humane Society, which is where abused animals go to seek refuge. But you can be humane treatment of almost anything. As long as you are treating something kindly and with compassionate, you are being humane. Illustrious means famous or important or very, very well known, usually in a certain field. Abraham Lincoln is illustrious. Buzz Aldrin is here, who's a really, really famous astronaut from the first moon trip. Mother Teresa is illustrious. There are lots of very famous, illustrious sports players or actors or actresses. Anybody who's very, very well known, very important in any given field is illustrious. Intolerable has this toler in it, okay, as in tolerate. Intolerable means it's so bad you won't tolerate it. That's what it means. So in a social studies class, you might have learned about the Intolerable Acts. That's Britain's punishment to the colonies after the Boston Tea Party. They would not tolerate the Boston Tea Party. That's intolerable actions. You know, bullying in Carlisle High School is intolerable. Saying the F word in the Carlisle High School is intolerable. In your house, it might be intolerable for you to speak back to your parents or something like that. Any behavior that's so bad that it won't be tolerated or allowed. Irreverent means rude. I put a picture of Bart Simpson here because he's sort of the famous face of irreverence, of being rude. Anytime, if you've heard the word revere, like you revere something that you really, really respect and honor, irreverence, the opposite of that. You don't revere it. You treat it as though you have no respect for it. It's really important not to behave irreverently in school towards teachers or principals. That's how people get into a lot of trouble. Laborious means requiring a lot of labor, a lot of work. Something that is very, very difficult to do, requires a lot of time and energy, is laborious. Maybe on this eDay you have lots and lots and lots of work assignments to do that are laborious. It's going to take you a lot of time, hopefully not. Climbing a mountain is laborious. Building a boat or a canoe or something like that. Those are laborious tasks. Before washing machines, people washed their laundry by hand. That's a laborious task. Lithe means bendy and flexible. I put some pictures of some acrobats here. This is Cirque du Soleil acrobats who can totally contort themselves in all kinds of crazy positions. That's what lithe means. You can sort of slip into any particular position that is necessary for you. Animals like snakes and cats are very, very lithe. They can bend themselves to fit between fence posts and around corners and things like that, and sort of just slip through any situation. Maltreat, okay, if you take Spanish or French, mal means bad, and then treat means treat. So maltreat means to treat badly. So maybe you're familiar with the stuff in the news lately about SeaWorld, talking about all of the abuses, all of the maltreatment that's happening at SeaWorld. We don't want people to maltreat the orca whales. We want them to treat them well. They should be in the ocean and not in these little tanks where they end up living when they're in captivity. Maltreatment is the opposite of humane treatment, if that helps you in terms of this vocab unit. Ponder means to think or to wonder about something. Usually sort of over time, you sit and you think and you process it and you try to figure out what you're talking about. And that's it, ponder. Subversive has this sub root word in it. Okay, sub means under. Subversive means sort of undermining, or in an attempt to get underneath the surface of something in order to overthrow it in time. So I put Katniss here because Katniss really likes to be subversive in the Hunger Games. Her job is to sort of get in underneath the government and try to overthrow it from within. Lots of dystopian fiction is about subversive characters. Jonas in The Giver was subversive. A subversive, as a noun down here, is the person who is trying to overthrow the government. So Katniss is a subversive. It's a really, really good, important word. Synthetic means fake. So I have a picture here of synthetic hair, which people are pretty famous for, but there's all kinds of synthetic things. Anything that is made by us, by human beings in a factory, rather than by nature or from growing, is synthetic. So, for example, if your shorts are polyester and not cotton, they're synthetic. Cotton is a natural material, it grows. Polyester is made by us, and that's all synthetic means, anything that's sort of fake or man-made. At home, your dining room table might be made out of wood, or it might be made out of synthetic wood, meaning something that we created to look like wood that isn't actually wood. Temperate means calm and peaceful and quiet. Okay, so it can be like a nice, lovely day with blue skies and peaceful seas, sort of temperate weather, or it can describe a personality, somebody who's just kind of chill and mellow and nonchalant about things, has a sort of temperate attitude about things. Venomous means poisonous. You know that venom is poison. Anything that is poisonous is venomous. So I have a black widow spider and a cobra here. They're venomous creatures. And I have a picture of two women here gossiping, because gossip and things that people say can be venomous, can be nasty and dangerous in terms of metaphorical venom. And wily. Wily means sneaky or clever or tricksy. So this guy's name is actually Wile E. Coyote. I don't know if you watched the cartoons with him and Roadrunner, but he's always trying to sneak around and do all kinds of sneaky things to destroy Roadrunner. Swiper the Fox is always trying to do sneaky things to steal all of Dora's stuff. So Wily's kind of sneaky and clever and crafty. If you're Harry Potter fans, the Slytherins are well known for being sly, for being wily. That's sort of their association. So guys, that is the end of your matrix. Please feel free to go back, rewind, watch any of these clips again, and make sure that today on this eDay you are filling out that matrix, drawing the pictures, writing the sentences, and bring it to me tomorrow. I hope you have an awesome eDay, and I will see you soon.